This is a warning. The Grim Reaper of radio, Bob Romanik, with his off-the-record show is about to air. He's probably the nastiest and craziest son of a bitch that you've ever had the misfortune to encounter. The Grim Reaper show will be very controversial and probably quite tasteless. If you are even slightly offended by controversial matter concerning religion, racial matters, politics, or life's problems, you are hereby warned to turn this program off immediately. The Grim Reaper show will be, like his face, very scary and very ugly. At this time, not proudly, but shamefully presents to you Bob Romanik, the craziest son of a bitch on the radio today.
This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM. Insane broadcasting, America's bi-state voice of freedom. Radical Radio, and we are, as always, proud, very, very proud to be the Patriot. Good Thursday morning, friend and foe alike. Weather report, it's a little damp, raining a little bit. Weather report's over. Hey, stick around with me today. A great man of St. Clair County. I call him my friend because he doesn't play politics. He's always been decent to me and everybody else he deals with. The general manager of Belle Claire Fairgrounds, Mr. Al Wandling. And people will say, what are you talking about the fairgrounds for? The fairgrounds, it's a treasure to St. Clair County. You know how long the Belle Claire Fairgrounds have been around? I can remember back in the day going to the St. Clair County Fair. There's concerts there. There's everything there. And I was told by somebody that, well, they don't get any state or federal money, and I like that as a taxpayer. Those guys are self-sufficient. But I would think businesses like that, if we're going to give money to people to shore up their businesses, it should be to the ones that have been around forever, the ones that have been through the good times, the ones that have been through the bad times, and the good people at the Belle Claire Fairground. It's been around forever. It's a historical site, and we're going to be talking to Al Wandling, the general manager, here momentarily about all the events going on. And I've been to the flea markets. I've been to the gun and knife shows. I've been to a lot of things there at the fairgrounds, and I don't know if a lot of people know how much goes on at the fairgrounds. And there's a little bit for everybody. They have a home improvement show. They've got all kind of motorcycle swap meet, and we'll talk with Al Wandling right after we take care of our community service. Trivia night, Saturday, March the 5th. The Evansville Country Club, located at 3810 Stringtown Road in Evansville, Illinois. They're having it. It's the Aurora people, and they are the ones that help the homeless. And again, I want to salute any group that helps the homeless, helps the misfortune, helps the downtrodden, helps animals. You know, we can all give a little bit. Everybody wants to take. Let's start giving a little bit. I guarantee you, I give a lot. I donate a lot, and I give a lot of crap too. And I love giving. In every angle do I love giving. It'll be held on March the 5th, again, at the Evansville Country Club in Evansville, Illinois. There's no telephone number, so can't give you that. The Bethalto American Legion, Post 214, their chicken dinner. I guess that's tomorrow, March the 4th, on Friday. Chicken to be served at 7 p.m., and I love this because the band is not more pleasure, but Mo Pleasure. It'll start at 8 p.m., couples $35, singles $25. You can contact 377-3089 to get tickets or any information. Don't forget, coming up this Sunday, March the 6th, the Richter family, and I want to salute you guys and everybody in the Trenton-Summerfield area. Summerfield Lions Club having their pancake and sausage breakfast this Sunday from 8 a.m. to noon. We're going to try to make it out. They're great people. And again, we want to thank the Richter family for sending this information. And if you guys can make it out to Summerfield, that'll be Sunday, March the 6th. Aviston and Albers Cub Scout Breakfast. It helps fund the local PAC 255. And it says also get a great breakfast. All-you-can-eat breakfast Sunday, March the 13th, held at the Aviston American Legion Hall from 8 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. The screening clinic coming up this Saturday, March the 5th, from 9 to 11 a.m. at the Anderson Hospital in Maryville, Illinois. If you need information, 246-6056. This is the Shriners Hospital for children. They're going to have a screening clinic for children with bone, muscle, and joint problems. So if you have a child that needs some help, nothing like taking them to the Shriners Hospital, because they will treat your children like they're their children. And I want to sincerely, again, thank all the Shriners for the great job they do. Don't forget, every Friday, our good friends out at Smithton, at the Smithton Turner Hall, the best fish in town. Well, hell, maybe it's the only fish in Smithton, but I've ate a lot of fish, and we were out there last Friday. Appreciate, again, the hospitality. But the good people at the Smithton Turner Hall, they're going to have their fish Lenten special until Lent from 5 to 8 p.m. at the Smithton Turner Hall every Friday. And again, thank you guys very much for the hospitality. Meat Shoot, sponsored by the Sugarloaf Sportsman's Club, to be held March the 6th. It'll be at the American Legion Hall, 201 Eiler Road in Belleville. It starts at noon. We want to wish Bob Causey his 80th birthday, and it's going to have Grandma Kate's famous chicken and dumplings. Whatever dumplings are, we're going to go out and get some. Trivia night, the Troy, Illinois Knights of Columbus, Council 9266, this Saturday, March the 5th. The proceeds benefit St. John's Newman's Elementary School, their scholarship, and various charities. It'll be held at the St. John's Elementary School, 142 Wilma Drive in Maryville. Doors open at 6. Trivia starts at 7. Any questions or concerns, you can contact Norm at 667-2115 or Dennis at 667-3104. Millstock Community Blood Drive today from 4 to 8 p.m. Today, March the 3rd, from 4 to 8 p.m. It's to be held at the Millstock Consolidated School Multi-Purpose Room located at 211 West Mill Street in Millstock. The Friends of Columbia, the Masonic Lodge, 474, Trivia Night, to be held this Saturday, March the 5th. Doors open at 6. Play starts at 7. It'll be at the Dupo American Legion located at 200 South 5th Street in Dupo, Illinois. Cost $10 per person. If you want to get involved, need tickets, need information, you can contact Dave at 618-795-8472. Don't forget, you can pick me up on iTunes. Type in Bob Romanik and or the Grim Reaper of Radio. You can go to our streaming site, insanebroadcasting.com, one word, for the best of all 3 of our stations. And you can hear me now on my repeat performance every day, Monday through Friday at 4 o'clock p.m. And also now broadcasting from the graveyard to the graveyard shift every night, Monday through Friday at the stroke of midnight. On this date, March the 3rd, 1791, the first Internal Revenue Law was passed. It was the tax on liquor. Back in 1791, they've been grabbing our money. The government's been grabbing our money since 1791. What a great cause. On this date, March the 3rd, 1875, a 20-cent coin was authorized by Congress, and it only lasted 3 years. On this date, March the 3rd, 1875, people, the first hockey game was played in Montreal, Canada. On this date, March the 3rd, 1885, the United States Post Office began offering special delivery for first-class mail. On this date, for everybody that uses a phone, a great date in history, March the 3rd, 1885, AT&T was incorporated. On this date, March the 3rd, 1931, the Star-Spangled Banner became the national anthem of this great United States of America. On this date, March the 3rd, 1933, Mount Rushmore was dedicated. It was completed 9 years later. On this date, March the 3rd, 2005, Steve Fawcett became the first person to fly an airplane around the world solo without any stops for refueling. That's what happened on this date, March the 3rd, throughout all these years in our world's history. I want to say happy anniversary and congratulations on their recent 25th wedding anniversary. That's Jack and Mickey Scoville from Belleville. Both are great people, and we sincerely wish them the best of luck for their next 25 years of wedding bliss. Jack Scoville, he may be on the other side of the political aisle, but we won't hold that against you, Jack. He's still a great guy, and Mickey, his lovely bride, who has always been nothing but a true lady when she deals with the public. She's Brendan Kelly's secretary, and she doesn't play politics. She's just one hell of a nice lady, one great lady, and she's actually one of the few, in my opinion, that works hard for her money in St. Clair County. But again, I want to wish Jack and Mickey Scoville congratulations on their recent 25 years of wedding bliss, and hope you guys have another 25 years. And Mickey and Jack Scoville, congratulations once again. Real quick, I talked to a friend of mine, and I don't really want to go into it, but maybe we won't. His wife passed away. She was the lady from Freeburg who was in an accident, and he came in and saw me today. And he was really upset. And he said, Bob, I've got a 14 and a 19-year-old daughter. And he said, the newspaper, they made it so melodramatic, and it wasn't that way at all. And I said, well, sir, that's what the newspapers do. And it's really a shame. It's really a shame. Bernie Solzik, they're from Freeburg. His bride, Georgia Ann, passed away in an accident in Freeburg, and he was really, really upset, and I don't blame him, and I don't want to come after the News Democrat on this one, but I would tell everyone, and you hear me, when you listen to me, I ask you not to believe me, I ask you to listen to me, and then research it. This newspaper, people want to think that what they read is true, is correct. And I don't like the Belleville News Democrat for the way they write things, the way they treat people, the way they will not let you respond. I, in turn, anybody I talk about, the lines are always open. You people know that. But Bernie was upset because he said it didn't happen the way the newspaper, they made it really dramatic. And again, my deepest condolences to Bernie and his two lovely daughters for the loss of their wife and their mother. But Bernie, hang in there. You can't help what somebody prints, and I know it upsets you. And on a side note, it upsets me when I see not the lady that was convicted and got 3 years for faking cancer. I wasn't upset about that. I was upset she didn't get 20 years. But what upset me, here's her children, 4 or 5-year-old children. The newspaper, the TV stations, they gotta shine right in on those kids crying. I want my children to be seen on television crying, to be in grief. But see, the newspaper, they don't give a damn. TV stations, they're right up in your face. You can say what you want about Bob Romanik, but I have never once to any of my political enemies shoved a microphone in their face. I'll get here behind the mic, and I'll challenge them to call me. I'll challenge them to come in and see me. But when it's a time of grief, you don't stick a microphone to somebody's face and say, how do you feel now that your wife got killed out on the street? How do you feel that your son or daughter died? The no good son bitches, you know how you feel. We don't need to see that in the newspaper. You've heard me with Mark Kern. His mother passed. She was a great lady. It's not a political thing. That's a real thing. That's a real thing. And I give my condolences a few months back or a month back. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to grieve. You got to grieve for your enemies' families because they are family. But the newspaper, TVs, they're pieces of crap. We didn't want to go there. We want to start on a lighter note. And I'll tell you, this gentleman here, what a great guy. He runs a great organization out there at the Belle Claire Fairgrounds. The general manager, Al Wandling. And Al, I'm going to tell you, I've been to many functions at the fairground. And I don't think people really understand what all goes on out at the fairground,
Yeah, Bob, I want to thank you for having me on the radio.
Hey, our pleasure.
1854 was the first county fair.
And wait a minute, Belle Claire has been there since 18. How long
the fairgrounds has been there since in 1800s. That's where they. It was a Civil War training camp for the Union soldiers.
You're kidding me.
Yeah, the 9th Illinois and the 22nd Illinois trained right there at the Belle Claire Fairgrounds.
Right where you're at right now.
Correct. Yes.
Well, I wonder how come that's not in historical sites of the United States. That's a hell of a site.
Yeah, I did get a plaque for the building. We do have a plaque in the lobby that tells you all about the Fort. Fort Kerner, Camp Kerner is what it was called.
You're kidding me. And that was in 18 what?
Well, 1854, it was the fairgrounds down there because it was on the outside of town,
Right.
And then but the Union soldiers, Grant was there, Lincoln was there back in 1861.
You're kidding me. See, now, hey, I'm glad you come in, Al. That's more information. Hell, we can shut this station down now for that information. But, Al, on a little bit lighter note, you've had the fairs there forever. You've got gun shows, RV shows, home and garden shows. You got I've been to flea markets all over. My girlfriend loves flea markets, and she rants and raves about the Belle Claire flea market because you can get a little bit of everything and anything, and it's very well managed. I've never seen a problem there, and I want to, again, salute you for all the years that you guys have made it successful, but I can't believe that. 18, what again?
1854 was the first county fair. And 1861 is when they trained the Union soldiers to go to war.
Right at that spot. Well,
right there.
Hey, that's got to be, and I'll tell you what, I know, what I like most about it, Al, and I think you guys deserve it, and I know we didn't discuss this, but that place gets no tax dollars. All these other businesses coming up, the hot dog stand gets money. This is Bob Romanik talking and griping, not Al Wandling. This is Bob Romanik. These places get money for this and money for that, and you guys are self-sufficient. I want to salute you. The taxpayers of St. Clair County, we want to salute you for that. But I personally believe if there's money to be given out to businesses, a historic site like the Belle Claire Fairgrounds should get it. And I hope if money comes available, and I know the budgets are tight, I would hope that we would do all we could do to keep the Belle Claire Fairgrounds open, because it is, after you telling me all this, is a very historical site.
Yeah, for example, I had 3 meetings with Mark Eckert and trying to get some tourism money because, for example, 2 weeks ago we had the antique flea market, which was rated #1 in the St. Louis area.
I was there. Great show.
And we brought in around 12,000 people. They bought gas in the area, food in the area, stayed in hotels. We get nothing from Belleville.
You're kidding me.
No. So I was trying to get some tourism money to help us with our funding because we are privately owned and we're hurting like everybody else.
Yeah. Al, to break a point, I drove by Hardee's, was going to get something to eat afterwards. I couldn't get in the parking lot. You know why? because you and your organization have brought people in. McDonald's was crowded as hell. Every place was crowded because you've brought money in to the city, and I won't play politics about the airport, but I want to see businesses bring money into the city, into our businesses to help our tax base rather than take money out. And again, whenever I left there, when I left the fairgrounds, you couldn't get in Hardee's or McDonald's, and that was because of everybody that had came to the fairgrounds.
Absolutely. We had a record crowd this February because the weather was perfect. The races, for your information, 1948. That's when the first midget race was there.
You're kidding me. I've been to some of them. I'm not a big race fan, but I've been to some, and people have a great time. You've got a great core audience, and you got a lot of people there. And I hope. How's the race? Is there still going to be races going on? How's the race situation?
Yeah. Well, last year was a little rough. The year before was rough, but this year looks a little bit better for us. So we hope that we can have a better outcome this year.
Well, I'll tell you, Al, I know you got ladies roller derby. Now, that's something.
Well, when I was a kid, used to watch them on TV out of Los Angeles and New York and everything. Well, they approached me, and I thought, oh, boy, I don't know what I want to do here. And I'm glad I did because it's pretty exciting to watch those ladies run around and knocking each other down. It's kind of different.
Well, yeah, nothing like – we won't go there, Al, but nothing like two ladies fighting. But, Al, I see and I'm looking at this schedule that I'd picked up when I was at the fairgrounds last week, and hell, you got the Confederate Railroad. What a great concert! That was a great concert put on, and people don't understand what kind of venue that is. If anybody, and you didn't suggest this, but let me suggest it. Anybody that wants to put on a big concert, wants to put on anything, there's no place that has more parking, has more room, that's a better known location than the Belle Claire Fairgrounds. If people would want, if I would want to have a concert there and bring a big band in for the radio station, how do we go about doing that, or can you facilitate that?
Oh yeah, we could handle that. We just would have to find the right weekend for you.
Yeah, well, I can see here, hell, you don't have many weekends. This is a lot more successful than I ever thought about. You've got ladies roller derby, you've got the auctions, flea market, you've got the dog shows, in which I love dogs. You got oil swap meets, a brewery show, motorcycle show. Yeah, Democratic dinner. We won't hold that against you. But see, hey, even the Democrats,
right,
they're smart sometimes, because they have a lot of people come to their dinner. What better place that can facilitate the cause than the Belle Claire Fairgrounds? And that's really nice. What do you have going on coming up this weekend, Al?
Yeah, that's what I'd like to tell you about. We have more RVs and campers than we've ever had on display and for sale. Where else can you go and see 200,000 square foot of RV and campers, mostly under roof, and then a lot of them outside? And the weather's going to be perfect this weekend.
Yes, it is.
In the upper 50s, low 60s, no snow, which killed me last year. But it's going to be this weekend, March 4th, 5th, and 6th, and I would like to invite everybody to please come. Adults $6, children 12 and under are no charge with a paid adult.
Well, I'll tell you what, Al, you've got 200,000 square feet in that building?
Well, outside and inside.
Outside and inside.
Yeah, of RVs and campers.
Well, hell, you're going to have them outside too then?
Oh, yeah.
Well, you're right. Yeah, the weather will be great. I tell you what, it will be a great time. I was at your show last time you had RVs, and I tell you, a friend of mine bought an RV, and he got a hell of a deal, because they make a lot of discounts at these RV shows, don't they? Yeah,
they have special financing for the 3-day show, and great discounts.
And that's going to be Friday from 3 to 8 p.m., Saturday from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m., and Sunday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Free parking. Hell, I like that. Well, the radio station's going to be out there, Al, because you always put on a good show. But again, it's this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday from 3 to 8 p.m. on Friday, right?
Yes, sir.
And your tickets are, it's got here. If you got a card, how can they get a card to get $1 off at the door?
Well, if you bring your clippings in from the newspaper, just bring that in. We give you $1 off per person, each person, I should say. And then we still have some discount coupons at the office if you can get down there today or first thing in the morning before the show starts.
Hey, Al, if somebody wants to get a hold of you, is there a website or something that they can go to so they can contact you for any kind of... now, you can handle, if the dates are available, you can handle any kind of concerts, big family reunions. I don't know who caters your food, but the couple times I was there this last year for events, the food was excellent. Can you bring your own catering in if you like, or can you provide the catering?
Well, we have people, but you can also bring your own if you like.
Okay.
That would work. But yeah, bcfairgrounds.net. bcfairgrounds.net will get you on the website, or call 618-233-0052 and ask for Al Wanling.
Okay, give me the website and the number again so people can get a pen and a piece of paper, because everybody thinks, and I used to do that, Al, I'd pull out the number. Hell, people aren't sitting there with a pen and a piece of paper, so I want to give them the opportunity. But again, Al, anybody that hasn't been to the fairgrounds recently, you guys keep it. You know what I judge a business by? Their restrooms. Your restrooms are spotless. Everything's clean. You guys keep it up. And I want to salute you as a businessman. When I go into a place, I look at all the small details to see what kind of business people running it. And you guys have done an excellent job. And I hope this is the Belle Claire Fairgrounds, and you, Al Wanling, are around for another 100 years, because with the tradition at Belle Claire Fairgrounds, I did not know that the Civil War troops fought there. That's really great. But give me the address and the telephone number and your website one more time, Al.
Yeah, okay. It'd be Belle Claire Fairgrounds, 200 South Belt East, Belleville, Illinois, 62220. It's the zip code. And then also the phone number, 618-233-0052. And the website, bcfairgrounds.net.
I'm looking through your scheduling here, Al, and I see we got February coming up. We've got March. Now, next weekend, Hell, you got about every weekend scheduled. Next weekend, you got a gun and knife show. A friend of mine was out there, and he said, that was a hell. I can't have a gun. I can go buy a knife. I'm a convicted felon, so I got to stay away from the guns. But they said the gun and knife show. Then the following week, your flea market. Your flea market is your mainstay, Al. I say my girlfriend, she loves to go to flea markets. We've been to Grafton. We've been to Alton. We've been over to St. Charles. None as big and as nice and have as much a product to buy and sell is at your flea markets, I guess, because of the all the square footage and
well, what I do, I try to control what we let in. People come 2 and 3 states if you keep it more of an antique collectible flea market. If you put a lot of knickknacks in there, then you destroy it. But it's okay to have those items, but the main thing, you got to have antiques and collectibles, and that's what I do over the last 25 years, try to hold that together and make it the greatest show in the St. Louis area.
Well, I'll tell you what, Al, it is the greatest show, and I'm looking here once again before you leave. I know you're a busy man. May the 28th and 29th, May the 7th and 8th, July the 2nd and 3rd, August the 6th and 7th, and October the 22nd and 23rd. That's the only open days you have here, and every other weekend is jam-packed, filled with some good entertainment, some good product to buy. That's really amazing, Al. In a whole year's time, you've got 4 or 5 dates. Now, that's just the weekend dates, though, right?
Correct, yes.
Yeah, now, if
you
somebody
can have something during the week.
Yeah, during the week, it's probably a little bit easier to get in, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Well, Al, I'll tell you what. We're going to be out the radio station, and I hope everybody will come out this Friday from 3 to 8 p.m., Saturday from 10 a.m. to 10 a.m. to 8 p.m., and on Sunday from 10 p.m. to 4 p.m., free parking at the Belle Claire Fairgrounds, the Belleville RV Camper Show. You can get some great deals on campers. Summer's coming up. Al Wandling, thank you very much. You got the last word to tell the good people of Belleville.
Well, I want to thank Bob for having us on the show, and I want to invite everybody to the fairgrounds this weekend, and please support the Belle Claire Fairgrounds.
I'll tell you what, Al, we will, the people in Belleville will, and thank you for bringing money back to our community to help us out in hard times. Mr. Al Wandling, the general manager for the Belle Claire Fairgrounds, thank you very much for taking the time, and thank you for all the information. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. This is Bob Romanik. The Grim Reaper of Radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM, insane broadcasting, America's bi-state voice of freedom, Radical Radio, and we are, as always, proud, very, very proud to be the Patriot.
The all-new 1190 AM KQQZ, marching in beat to the worldwide voice of freedom.
This program intended for mature audiences. The only thing worse than listening to Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio, is perhaps getting your head severed. But then some will say it's a toss-up. Now, back to Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio.
Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs? Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out?
This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of Radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM, insane broadcasting, America's bi-state voice of freedom, your guardian of the First Amendment, Radical Radio, and we are, as always, proud, very proud to be the Patriot. Again, I want to thank Mr. Al Wandling. He's a general manager for the Belle Claire Fairgrounds. Thank you, Al, for coming in. And I know Al's a great Elvis Presley fan, so we'll have to say this just for you, Al. Al Wanling has left the building. So, Al, that's for you. Thanks for stopping by, buddy. Hey, I got to say, we've got St. Patrick's Day coming up, and we were going to put a radio float in the St. Patrick's Day parade, the ancient Order of Hibernians in America. Great Irish people, great people. A lot of my friends are Irish. Love the Irish people. They like to have a good time, and we want to salute them on their day. And the radio station actually wanted to salute them. We put money up about 3 weeks ago. They said, get your applications in early to be in the parade. So we put it in. It was going to be a commercial unit, an automobile for KQQZ. We did it 3 or 4 weeks ago. We got way ahead of the time, so make sure that we could get and participate. And we were going to participate to honor the proud Irish community. That's what we wanted to do. We wanted to help celebrate and honor the proud Irish community on their date of recognition. But guess what? Only in St. Clair County. And I don't want to hold this against the entire Irish community, Irish American community, because they are great people. Again, have a lot of friends. Irish have a great tradition. And everybody goes out and their parade has a good time. The radio station's local here in Belleville, so we wanted to support the Irish. We wanted to celebrate the great Irish tradition, to respect the true Irish community. We got rejected. Thank you for applying to participate in the 2016 St. Patrick's Day Parade. This is a letter I'm reading from the Ancient Order of Hibernians. Unfortunately, your application was, in parenthesis, was not approved. Therefore, I am returning your application and parade entry fee. It says thank you. Doesn't have a name on it. Now, the officers, Mike Tiernan, Vice President Patrick Hume, Recording Secretary John Beltholt, Financial Secretary Mike Lenz, Treasurer Bob Dixon, Standing Committee Chairman Gish Johnson. Now, it just appears to me that somebody would have put their name on it. And again, we got this. And at first, I thought, boy, I was really going to go crazy. But I'm not going to get mad. Even more than that, I'm more disappointed that a few who want to take a great Irish American holiday and tradition and make it a personal political statement instead of a great day to celebrate for the proud Irish. What a shame. What a shame a few idiots and political punks associated with the culture of corruption in St. Clair County would deny people who want to celebrate and honor, a great Irish tradition. And I know the true Irish people. I know they probably would be offended. And they probably are offended when they hear me talk about this. We didn't want to play politics. We put our money up, and we wanted to be part of a great Irish tradition. But your application was underlined in parentheses, not approved. And it's got thank you. And everybody around, they know, why we haven't been approved. It's unbelievable that some politicians would commandeer a great day to celebrate a true Irish tradition. And they're gonna make it political. So again, this guy says, boy, you ought to be pissed. No, I'm not pissed at the proud Irish community. I'm not even pissed at the Ancient Order of Hibernians. I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed that they would let, guys, you had Irish people fight and die in all these wars. You know that, don't you? Go over to Jefferson Barracks Memorial Cemetery in South St. Louis. You'll see a lot of proud heroes with Irish names that died to let us live free, to be free. And they're going to let a few, I say a few, rotten, no-count, good-for-nothing, lousy son of a bitches disrespect the proud Irish community. You're going to let them play politics? That's really unbelievable. That's not a slap in the face to the radio station. It's a slap in the face to every Irish American that fought, and some who gave all, and all gave some. They were away from their families, legs torn off, shot off, arms. The proud Irish. The proud Irish They wouldn't appreciate this. They would not appreciate being rejected because of your political beliefs. And again, I'm disappointed, not going to get mad at the proud Irish community because they had nothing to do with this. But it just shows you. Oh, the check says application to Patrick Hickey at 127 South Douglas in Belleville. That just goes to show you that how corrupt and how far this corrupt tentacles of St. Clair County Democratic politics plays. Now, I don't know if they rejected us because they wanted to reject us or they were afraid because the St. Clair County Democratic culture of corruption would have came down on them. And again, I have to remind you, this is America, people. But that's how egregious it is here in St. Clair County. I've had people say, Bob, I'm voting for you, but I have to wait for the general election. I have to get a Democratic ballot because I've got a cousin or a grandson working at the courthouse, and they'll find out, and they'll lose their job, and they need their job. This is not Germany during World War II. This is not Hitler. I know they think they are. I know Kern and Sprague and Barasiewicz think they are, but I will not personally, I don't give a damn about anybody else, not let those brave military heroes die in vain. I'm going to fight for the rights that they fought and died to give me. But again, we want to salute the proud Irish community, but you guys know there's a few bad in the Irish bunch. There's a few bad in the Italian bunch, a few bad in the African American bunch. There's a few bad all over. And these are the few bad, but we want to salute, and we will still salute, and we will be at the parade, won't participate, but we'll be there celebrating a great Irish tradition for a great Irish people. We're not going to let a few bums, political bums, destroy a great day recognizing a bunch of great people, the Irish. Just pisses me off. But that's okay. That's the way it is, and we're gonna move on. We talk about this spy agency, the NGA, announces a week delay in the decision for headquarters location. It's going to be $1.5 billion situation. Now, I have to say, St. Clair County, and if I was a state rep, I'd be fighting a lot harder than these guys are fighting to get it brought here. But if it comes here, it's not going to be because of the St. Clair County culture of corruption. Why do you think, people? This is a great location here, the other side of Scott Air Base. I think it should be down in East St. Louis. I want to keep it in St. Clair County, our county, and I'll fight to do that. I think it should be down on the riverfront so the proud community in East St. Louis can start prospering from everything that we all have. But having said that, why do you think they're taking their time? Why do you think the federal government's taking their time when they've got a location in North St. Louis that's really not all that good? Great location out by Scott. It's because of the St. Clair County culture of corruption. The federal government knows that the Scott Air Force location base is a lot better location for the new spy agency development. It's a lot more superior than the Missouri site. But the hesitation is the culture of corruption, the corrupt political leadership in St. Clair County. Mark my word, if St. Clair County is awarded the new location, these greasy, sleazy, no-count, good-for-nothing son of a bitches, they'll take full credit for bringing the agency there. And Kern and Sprague and Barasiewicz would have nothing to do with it. But, we're running against them in November. And it'll hurt us because people will think that they're the ones that brought it. But I don't care. We can get hurt. I want that agency brought to St. Clair County because it's going to help us all out in St. Clair County. I'll put our political differences aside, but these guys in St. Clair County, it's because of them that the decision still hasn't been made. Why do you think? All that ground we're going to give them for nothing. It's all ready to go. They don't have to destroy nothing. They don't have to tear anything down to build anything. They haven't decided yet, even though it's the best location over here. And it's the best location because it's the best location. It has nothing to do with Kern, has nothing to do with Sprague, has nothing to do with Barasiewicz. They're hesitant because of the culture of corruption. How many businesses do you think don't come to St. Clair County because of the corruption in St. Clair County. There's business after business after business. They don't come to St. Clair County because of the culture of corruption. And think about it, people. A great location, the other side of Belleville. Bad location in North St. Louis. But they're still thinking about it. They're thinking about it because if it be any place but St. Clair County, it already been chosen. Great location here in St. Clair County, but because of the culture of corruption, because of the lack of leadership by Mark Sweetcakes Kern, by God Sprague, by Chief Judge John Red on the Noodle like a pecker on a Poodle Bear Civic, that's why they haven't made the decision yet. It's a no-brainer. So think about it, people. That's why they've hesitated. It's not because it's not the best location. It's because of the culture of corruption in St. Clair County, the culture of corruption that once again is helping to destroy us and our family's way of life. Only in St. Clair County. This is Bob Romanik. The Grim Reaper of Radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM, insane broadcasting, America's bi-state voice of freedom, Radical Radio, and we are, as always, proud, very proud to be the Patriot.
The all-new 1190 AM KQQZ, proudly broadcasting in the United States of America. The greatest country on God's green earth. This program intended for mature audiences. The Grim Reaper of radio, death, and taxes. 3 things you never really want to experience. Now, let's get back to Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio.
KZQZ 1430 AM, insane broadcasting, America's bi-state voice of freedom, Radical Radio, and we are, as always, very proud to be the Patriot. You know, we talk about this parade situation, and again, I respect the proud Irish community, and but you see how these corrupt son of a bitches, how 1 or 2 or 3 will bring cancer and spread that cancer all throughout our good community, St. Clair County. But you guys have heard me. I talk about these son of a bitches like the dogs they are. I have offered Kern, Sprague, Barra-Civic $10,000, people, and if I say I do that, I have to do it. I've offered them $10,000 to come on the air after I talk about them like the dogs they are, and I want to apologize to the dogs, of course. And I would give another $10,000 to feed the hungry, the homeless, in their name. That shows you these people think they're dictators. We have to get rid of this culture of corruption. I give them every opportunity when I fight them. Not to put a mic in their face, not to jump on them in their office or surprise them. I say, give me a call, come by the station. I give them time to think about how they want to cut me down or how they want to say what I'm saying is not correct. I don't want to jump out in a corner and ask for a comment. I want them to have time. And then I want them to call me, give them money. They will not do it. But this situation with this parade, it's unbelievable. And again, I'm not shorting the proud Irish community. We've got a bunch of callers. Go ahead, caller. You're on the dark side.
Hey, Bob. While you were talking, I was doing some research on the website of the Ancient Order of the Hyberians, and it jumped out that there's some names that are part of the membership of the Hyberians. Let me give them to you. John Barra-Civic, Brendan Kelly, Bob Sprague, Jerry Costello, Terrence Delaney, and Rick Stone. Do you know those people?
You're kidding me. They've got a website, and they're on the website as members of this group?
Yes, sir, they are.
You know, and what website can they get that? Do you have it handy?
Let me give me 1 second. It's I think if you go to Ancient Order of the Hyberians in Ancient Order of Hyberians, St. Clair County, and you can go and you can see their membership list on there, and it is the names that I just gave you.
See,
go to the members section, And it says the division has approximately 90 active members listed below, and those names jump out at you like the culture of corruption.
See, people, I want you to go to the Ancient Order of the Hibernians, the membership. I tell you things, but I want you to research. I want you to research this. Can you see Barra Civic, Sprague, Rick Stone, these son of a bitches hide behind the proud Irish community, the proud people, and they're going to play politics? Now, see, now I know better. I've exposed it to hundreds of thousands of people that listen to us. It's not the proud Irish. I knew it wasn't. It's the Rick Stones. It's the John Barra Civics. It's the Bob Spragues, the Brendan Kellys. Unbelievable, people. But you see what they do? They want a few to dictate to everyone. You son of a bitches ought to be ashamed of yourself. You ought to be ashamed. You ought to give them a call. Barra Civic, I'm challenging you. You no good piece of political crap. If we had a parade, I'd let you come. I'm going to let you come on my station. I'll give you $10,000, Barra Civic, and then I'll give another $10,000 to feed the hungry. I'll let you come on and fight with me and argue with me and put your point across, because I believe in our great American principles, freedom of speech, Barra Civic, Sprague, Stone, Kern, you rotten bastards. And you're going to make it bad and put a bad light on the proud Irish community? It's unbelievable. Barra Civic, I'm calling you out. Rick Stone, Bob Sprague, Mark Sweetcakes Kern, you rotten bastards. You're hiding behind the proud Irish community for your own political gains, your own corrupt political gains. People of St. Clair County, this is just another example of how rotten these bastards are. They can't even let a parade go that they don't have their corrupt political greasy hands on. Think about it. Not just the good people of Irish descent, but all of us as Americans. They're going to stop my radio station from participating and honoring the Irish because of the few of the political corrupt in St. Clair County. It's amazing how the culture of corruption just wraps around that cancer, that political cancer just wraps around our entire community, our innocent community that gets pulled in by this culture of corruption in St. Clair County. This is Bob Romanik. The Grim Reaper of Radio, and you've been listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM. Insane broadcasting at its finest, America's by state voice of freedom. Radical Radio, and we are, as always, proud, very proud to be the Patriot. Come on back tomorrow, as always, same time, same place, and we'll continue on our path, our victory to freedom, our victory to take over this great country, to take it back from these political parasitical punks that we call politicians, these no-good, rotten bastards. This situation with this parade, people, think about it. It's not about Bob Romanik. It's not about the radio station. It's about our freedoms. And we have freedoms, and we're going to take them back. We're going to continue every day to unite. Let's all join forces with the St. Clair County Freedom Coalition. You hear me? Join forces. Democrats, Republicans, independents, men, women, black and white. Don't let them, the enemy, the culture of corruption in St. Clair County, don't let them divide and conquer us. Let's destroy them as they're attempting to destroy us. And together, as always, we can unite. We have to be together, people. We have to unite as one. We have to continue to expose these political parasitical punks that we call politicians, these sleazy, greasy, no-count, good-for-nothing, low-life son of a bitches. And when it's all said and done, together, the vast silent majority will become vocal. We will become the vocal minority or majority. And at that point, we will yell loud, strong, yell once and for all. It's time for you to go. The political corruption in St. Clair County will have to go, and we will destroy them once and for all. Destroy them politically, of course, right here on the dark side.
They're coming to take me away, ha-ha. They're coming to take me away, ho-ho, hee-hee, ha-ha. To the funny farm where life is beautiful all the time. And I'll be happy to see those nice young men in their clean white coats and their